Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Frostpunk in our The Great Order series. So the scouts are 11 hours away from their next destination, which, by the way, was the observatory. So they'll be there before midnight, but it's going to be pretty late for them. We have 35 homeless at the moment because we just had a huge slew of survivors reach the city, which is quite helpful for our worker population, and we need to focus on getting them some homes right away, as well as taking care of the sick as much as we can. I'm going to go ahead. We did finish researching heaters just now, which is nice. We have some food rations as well, which my food is kind of low, and I know it's low. I had someone point out in the comments that it's low, but we have a pretty good hunting situation at the moment, and I need to encourage these medical posts to have their patients healed. We already did the same for the first medical post, so the second one that just opened up, I would like, which is still, its engineers are still arriving because it's not at full efficiency yet. But I would like to get these patients healed as soon as possible because we still have some sick people, and I really don't want to build a third medical post because we need to conserve our resources. I do have some gathering posts. This one up here has opened up. I will go ahead and turn these heaters on to reduce the likelihood that people working in these buildings get sick. Child shelter doesn't need its heater at the moment. Let's just look at the temp overlay as a way of checking. Yeah, those are the ones that should be on at the moment. And that's going to increase our coal consumption, so we're going to have to be mindful of that. But that's why that gathering post has been put in place. And one thing we can do to make it even faster is go ahead and get 15 workers on this coal pile here. As well as, you know what? I'm going to go all in. Let's put 10 workers on the steel pile, 10 workers on the coal pile. Those are cold, unfortunately, so those people are going to be at risk for getting sick. I know that, but we're just going to have to deal with it. We also need to get a sawmill built because we are quite close, 78 wood away from having, well, no wood, no gatherable wood left. So as a matter of fact, that's probably the first building that I'm going to get built. And it's going to take 10 wood to do it. So let's go up to speed 2, and we'll have that in just a second. And there it is. So we need, ideally, how much coal is, or how much wood is left in this pile? 74? Maybe I should wait until... We just need 10 to build the sawmill. So I'll keep an eye on how many homes I build. But I need to start building homes as well. Actually, I will have enough to get all the homes built that I need to build. So let's focus on that. I actually put that in a really weird place, all things considered. I don't typically put the child shelter there. I wish I had thought about that. Also, let me check something really quickly, because somebody mentioned something about the... Huh. I also need to get the care house built as soon as possible. That's going to be 30 wood. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit dicey here. But I'm thinking about... The reason I was quiet for a moment is somebody told me that you can reorient these buildings, and I did not know that. So we need to figure out how to do that. Yeah, unlocked a new building by signing a law. I know that. Construction. Okay, I don't see anything about reorienting buildings. So we'll have to talk about that in the comments, because I don't know how to do it, but evidently you can make the child shelter a little bit more workable. Let's see. Maybe one of the best things to do for housing here, since I did do that weird thing with the space, would be to put the next tent here. I don't love that. It's not a great use of space, but we need to get people housed. So let's get a roof over some people's heads and get moving here. Alright, there's definitely some sick absences at that location. And we have some starving people as well. We're going to have some food come in the morning, and that'll help with the food situation. And we can also get another hunter's hut built, which I believe I mentioned at the end of the last episode as a possibility. Okay, faster gathering has been researched. We still have a few hours left in the day. Let's see what else we can do. It's going to be time for a coal thumper pretty soon. Let's do hunter's gear. Let's see, that's going to take wood as well. Steel wreckage depleted. Okay. Well, that's good news. Hang on, let's go ahead and research hunter's gear. I can have my remaining workers that just finished with the other steel pile start gathering from this one, and they'll be done before long. Alright, the coal situation is okay for now. The generator is in overdrive at the moment because we're trying to heal our people. How much wood do I have left? 54, so enough to keep building homes for now. Yeah, I don't love this. That was a bit of an odd placement. I put that where I normally do, but I didn't put the child shelter where I typically put it. So, should have been... Maybe I'll rebuild it over here. That might make more sense. But I'm already building homes in accordance with this new layout, so... Nothing wrong with rearranging things, but I'll need to be careful. All right, scouts are about 45 minutes away, now 30 minutes away from the observatory. We'll have to see what's there. Let's go ahead and turn the generator off of overdrive, which is going to suck for sick people, but we now don't have any more outstanding sick people, which is good. Scouts have arrived. Something's amiss at the observatory. Snow covers the precious instruments, and the dome is opened, letting out a thin column of smoke. Someone is inside. Explore! Instead of astronomers, we are met by some of our lost people. They explained that they came here for help but found everybody dead. The astronomers continued their observations until they starved. What was so important for them? They wrote it up in their diaries. The loss of sunlight can't be explained solely by the fouling of the atmosphere by the southern volcanoes. The sun is dimming. Interesting. Sites discovered. Crash site. So we found another site. We can escort the survivors to the city. We can send the survivors to the city. Or we can leave the survivors to their fate. I'm going to escort them to the city, because we need to come back with our scout anyway. There are no resources right now, but the crash site might have some resources I can take advantage of. All right, let's go ahead and go to speed 3. And we are definitely going to need some food in the morning. All right, we are at capacity with sick people, and we're probably about to get another indicator here. Oh, no, it actually went down. We're doing okay. It's not going to get cold again for a few days. We're in good shape. Okay, so we have more new residents, new kids, new engineers, so that's good and bad. We have more mouths to feed now. Let's go ahead and go to the crash site before we go to the gloomy cave or the sturdy shelter. The crash site will have supplies, most likely. And I'm going to go up to speed 3. Workday is about to begin. We have a lot of homeless.
Get to work. Move, people. There's plenty to do.
Should I go ahead and get the sawmill built? I feel like maybe I should. Well, also need to get the care house. Hang on, that should be priority number 1. That's going to take 30 wood, and I have 7 hours left to do it. So let's build up that wood for the care house so I don't fail that quest. People would be disappointed in me if I do that. All right, hunter's gear has been researched. I wish that would have gotten done a little bit sooner, to be completely frank, but it is what it is. I think I'm going to go ahead and research drawing boards. Oh, wait, I need a lot of wood for that. A lot of wood. Coal thumper, then? Coal thumper. Because we are going to be needing a more intense supply of coal very soon. So we have 49 homeless, and we are waiting for 30 wood. And how much wood is left? 14. Just enough for the sawmill. Alright, so the care house will help to a certain extent. Alright, let's see. Let's put it right next to the medical area there. We're out of wood, yes I know. Sawmill's next. Has to be. Alright, That's going to get built in time. Just in time, actually. That was close. You have to juggle a lot of priorities in this game. It gets really, really intense. Alright, I can start by putting it there. That's not ideal, and I might have to move it. I can also do this and use a little bit more wood. Yeah, I just don't want to put it over the trees. So yeah, let's put it there. And then as soon as they're... Alright, good. Hope rises. Because we built the care house. Now there's a place for the sick people to go, and we are going to connect that to the road network. Gathering post has no gatherable resources, so we're going to dismantle that. I'm also going to go ahead and dismantle the child shelter, because I do want to move it. And we have 8 kids not in child shelters, so that's also going to affect things. We have lots of people available to help with construction, which is nice. Let's go ahead and pile some people in to collect that coal so that we don't run short on coal prematurely. And what did we just finish researching? Coal thumper? Good. We don't... I've got enough for the steel work, so let's go ahead and research that. And the sawmill... Yeah, we're not going to finish the sawmill in time for the workday, I don't think. So we still have lots of homeless people. It's been a while since I've let this many homes go unbuilt for this long. It's kind of a problem. Alright, so the next law, we can go for cemetery, which would allow dead people to be buried properly. And it's good to have this in place in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Or we can do corpse disposal, which would be burning the bodies. We have to dig a snow pit. I've never actually done this. It has to be placed outside of a heat zone. But the cemetery, I think, is the more humane thing to do. We want to give people proper burials. We want to have a semblance of civilization. And that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we've broken down that, and that'll give us some wood. And actually, doing that will allow us to build more homes for folks. So we'll do a tent there. And the sawmill is under construction, thank God. And there's the workday. We are not going to get more wood today. What do we have? People are hungry. Okay, this is our first opportunity to make a promise. Captain, some of our people are here to talk about the lack of food. They've been hungry for days now, and they fear that soon they'll begin to starve. They want you to do something. I'm going to promise to feed them, not let's feed them and stockpile some food. The 3 exclamation point promises are incredibly difficult to keep. Incredibly difficult. You have to really focus everything. But I'm going to try to say, you know what, yeah, you're right. I need to get more food into the city as soon as possible, so let's make that a priority. Tomorrow we're going to bring in lots of wood, so I will prioritize that for sure. What do we have here? The wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree to everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. Okay, so we do have some hungry folks. Food is going to be a problem for a bit until we get more hunting stations built. Okay, raw food is available at the crash site. That's where our expedition was split up when our vehicles crashed during a snowstorm. Some of our precious supplies should be here. Explore. So 69 raw food, that's quite good, and we can send the scouts home. This can help stave the food problem off, and 161 wood as well. There's plenty of priceless supplies, or there are plenty of priceless supplies in the wrecks of our expedition. Searching among the crates scattered in the snow beyond the wrecks, we found the bodies. They're tangled together in a single frozen mass, as if these people were trying to find at least a bit of warmth just before they died. We can do nothing for them, not even bury them. Dang. Alright, straight back to the city. 10 hours. And they'll arrive. That means they will arrive mid-morning. So we do have some people that are actually starving. So deaths are imminent if we don't get this addressed. Let's see, the sawmill. I want the heater on. The heater will only turn on during the day when workers are actually there. Cookhouse. The heater doesn't need to be on yet, but it might soon. Let's have 10 workers work the sawmill. And again... when the wood arrives, I'll be able to build the extra hunters' huts quite quickly. And actually, we will need workers for that. So I'm going to have engineers take over at the sawmill. And even at that coal pile. Yeah, things are all of a sudden looking pretty rough. We had a decent start, but When that food arrives, it'll be better. Let's see how much food the hunters bring in since they had the improved hunting techniques. Oh, they didn't bring in a lot at all. Steel wreckage depleted. Well, that freed up some workers. Alright, so we can build a cemetery. That'll help with hope, but... And the starving people did get fed, thankfully. That's at least good. I'm going to be ready to build a new workshop soon, but I want to prioritize the building of new hunters' huts. So we're going to need 20 wood for that. Again, it doesn't have to be... These do not have to be heated, really, because people don't work in them. They just kind of gather there and bring food there. Yes, I know we're out of wood. We've discussed it ad nauseum, but we're about to not be out of wood, and the cookhouse is about to have more work to do. The scouts arriving in half an hour. We can pass a new law. I am going to follow up the cemetery choice. Since I chose cemetery, I have this option here. We don't get the organ transplants option because we didn't go with the other one. So notice that we lost a choice here by virtue of going down a different path. So ceremonial funerals. Those who give their lives in service to the city deserve the highest honor. We will give our dead ceremonial funerals to inspire the living. The loss of hope caused by deaths is halved. Sign. Each burial will involve a funeral ceremony, or held at the cemetery at 2100. All right. We've got the extra hunter's hut building. Let's keep working on homes for folks. Yeah, I'm not in love with the way this has broken up my placement of things. And I do need to rebuild the child shelter as well, because they're helping out. In medical centers. Scouts have returned to the city. Good. That's food and wood. So now we can fix several problems. First of all, let's get the child shelter built. Now, what's the deal with... Okay, cool. So if you click the... Interesting. There's several different configurations. If you click this, it doesn't have to be as deep. I like that, but it also is not any longer... I'll keep it at the standard configuration. That's good to know. If you click the middle mouse button, that's how you change the orientation of buildings. I didn't know that until just now. I've played a lot of this game, but... Okay, steelworks has been researched. Is it time? Yes, I do have enough wood to go ahead and go for drawing boards. That is a lot of the wood that I had aside, so I'll have to be careful. But let's go ahead and get the remaining homes built that are needed. I know it's not adjacent to a street, I just need it to be heated. That's the primary concern. These streets are going to be weird. Alright, there we go. Alright, now it's all connected, and once all that's built, we will have to build one more child shelter somewhere. Let's go ahead and put some workers in there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and build an additional hunter's hut to really drive the point home and have all the resources that I need. And that's right, the scout needs to be sent back out. So, yeah, it's time to go to the gloomy cave. Let's take care of that. There's a dark cave entrance visible on the hillside. We think we saw a faint wisp of smoke coming from it, but it's gone now. So they'll be there in 19 hours. A note of thanks. Someone has left a note at the care house. It reads, "Thank you. With all the work we have to do, it's so hard for families to properly care for an invalid. Places like this make life a little easier for us all. Hope will rise slightly. I'm glad I could help." All right, so the cookhouse is working on converting that food that was brought into food rations, and you can see food rations skyrocketing. So the food situation has been addressed, but we now have one person in the care house, and we have 4 extra sick people. So let me go ahead and turn overdrive back on. All right, homelessness has been dealt with, and all the homes are heated around the steam hub. We've got a little while until the temperature drops again. We are actually near our coal storage. I'm glad I spotted that, so let's go ahead and do something that we would have needed to do soon anyway. Did I click the right button? Yeah, I need a resource depot. Resource depot. Tell you what, let's get this a little bit farther out first. 40 wood and 20 steel. Good lord. Let's build that right there. And that'll be a coal depot. We don't want to hit our cap there. That would be bad. We're not going to hit our cap right now because the workday's over. But if we get a resource depot built overnight, there we go. Problem solved. Definitely don't want to run out of coal. Okay, let's get some workers into the hunter's hut so that they go out and hunt for the night, bring some food in, and hopefully the food situation will resolve itself for the most part. And with overdrive being on, I'm hoping that the sick people also get a little bit of a reprieve. Yeah, all of our sick people are being cared for, and there's only 2 hungry people. I'm guessing they are among the hunters. So when the hunters come back, those hungry people will be okay. What else can I build? I need to build the child shelter. Again, I already built 1, but I think there's... How many do I need? Yeah, there's 8 kids that aren't in child shelters. So I could build another one here, and that would completely encircle my... I like these new configurations. It's nice to know that we have that option. All right, so we're going to get that one built there. And that will absolutely help with my patients in the medical center, as well as just give the kids a place to be while mom and dad are at work. Drawing boards have been researched. Good. So now we have the next tier of technology available to us. So lots of new options. Generator power upgrade 1 is probably something to go for soon. More scouts is usually what I go for immediately. But also we have the option to upgrade houses now. We can have medical posts heal people faster. Hot houses, which actually grow crops. It's another source of food. They do require 1 steam core, which is this last resource that we haven't really used yet. We have 1 right now, and we'll find more later. But as you can see, lots of interesting options. And none of them, I don't believe I have access to any of them just yet. Maybe a resource collection option. Maybe. Yeah, the sawmill upgrade. This takes 10 steel. Let me go ahead and upgrade this because it'll help me bring in wood faster. That being said, how are we doing on the coal piles? 143 and 90, and then this one is at 85. We probably have 1 more day before we will have to build a coal thumper. All right, the scout has almost arrived at the gloomy cave. We have an interesting choice ahead of us. This cave is or was inhabited. There are a number of footprints leading to its entrance. We should check if there's still someone alive up there. Explore. We can hear terrified shrieks coming from a cave uphill. When we come closer, several polar bears turn towards us, blocking the entrance. There are people trapped inside, and those beasts are picking them off one by one and feasting on them. We can leave the bears alone, or we can risk attacking the bears. People in the cave will live. Scouts will escort them to our city if they survive. That's 4 children, 19 more engineers, and 11 more workers. And not sure what that last little indicator is. Might just mean that there's, the risk. Let's see what happens. Oh, that sound is bad. When our scouts attacked the bears, the people in the cave joined them, and together they drove the beasts away. Unfortunately, the scouts died from their injuries. The people they saved set out towards the city, guided by a map made by the scouts. So that's a setback that you don't want. And it's random. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So I need wood to make a new scouting party, and I need to get scouts out to meet the survivors as quickly as possible. So 40 wood. Come on. Come on. There. Okay, new scouts. Go get them. It's going to take 17 hours, but we want to make sure those people survive. All right, let's go to speed 3 and just let some resources pour in. All right, that coal pile has been depleted. And we have a couple of other coal piles. Yeah, we're going to need our thumper pretty much now. We'll put it near gathering post. Maybe actually right back here would be a perfect place for it. So coal thumper requires 15 wood. The hungry were fed. Yay! Most of the hungry have had a meal and are somewhat satisfied for the time being. Hope rises. So we've fulfilled our promise. And we haven't yet built a cemetery either, so I'm going to have to do that soon. But let's get the coal thumper built. Let's see, if I put it a little bit closer, when I expand the range on the generator, it might actually help the people in the... No, I'm not going to worry about that. I'll eventually heat this otherwise. So, I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, I think I want to put it here rather than adjacent to the street. Might even put it here so I can eventually have another gathering depot along the road. Or maybe not. Might not be necessary. Oh, you can change the orientation of these too. That's really cool. Good to know. I appreciate you for pointing that out. I think it was Robert that pointed that out. I appreciate it, man. That was not within my knowledge of the game. Also, we're about 25 minutes in this episode, so I need to stop in a second. Let's see. Especially since my girlfriend called me a second ago. Generator still. Oh, I'm glad I saw that. Let's turn the generator off. And yeah, get that road built. So the coal thumper will... We've got workers enough for it. We definitely also have enough food, which is nice. Sawmill upgrade has been researched. Now what else can we do? We still don't have the wood to get some of these other technologies. The charcoal kiln, I actually try and stay away from the charcoal kiln. It's something that converts wood to charcoal, but I don't really... if you are good at getting coal, you don't really need to convert wood, and that way you have a little bit more finite control over your individual flow of resources. So that's what I try to do. Let me quickly check my heaters to see which buildings are adequately heated. I don't want to turn on any more heaters at the moment because I can turn that one on once the building's done. But I want to make sure I have a good flow of coal coming in. Alright, so let's go up to speed 2. Coal pile depleted, so that's one of these up here. Then the other one is going to be gone in just a second. But that gathering post is there for a reason. Alright, now we have 10 wood. That should be enough to... Oh no, we need 20 for some of these options. What about more scouts? Just 20 wood? Let's go ahead and build up the 20 wood that I need for more scouts. There we go. So I can do more at once with scouting. Yes, I know we're out of wood. We've been talking about it. Relax. Coal pile depleted, gathering post resources depleted, not for long. Okay, now we're going to have... Let's have 10 engineers work the coal thumper, and then the gathering post will start gathering from the coal that piles up behind the thumper. And you're going to start seeing that in the next episode when we kick off that run. But we're doing okay on food. We don't have any negative indicators down here anymore, so we cleared up that crisis. It was a crisis, too. 3 hours and 41 minutes for the scout to reach the survivors, and then they'll get here sooner than that, because they'll have help from the scout sleds. And next episode, we are going to work on researching some better technology and making sure people stay warm, because it's about to get colder. Temperature's going to drop by 1 level, and we're going to need to make sure that we are in good shape temperature-wise, and continue to make sure we're in good shape food-wise, because we're going to have more and more people coming in, more and more mouths to feed, and that's going to mean building more houses soon, actually very soon as well. So I'm sure you're starting to see how the balance of resources is already tight. I mean, we're going to need to build more steam hubs to heat more homes, which is going to increase our coal consumption. We're going to need to have maybe more medical facilities, which is going to require more heaters, especially when it's cold, because we can't have the generator on overdrive all the time. That's going to require more coal consumption. We're going to need wood in order to build everything, so we need at least a couple of sawmills going before long. And then, of course, these steel mills, which... steel, that's the iron deposit there, so we can put steel works, a couple of them out in front of the iron deposit to bring in some steel. But that will be our only way to get steel. Actually, it already is our only way to get steel because the other deposits have already been used up. So, yeah. It's going to start getting interesting. It already did in this episode, but we resolved the problems for now. It won't be long before they come back. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.